Thank you for having me, guys. Thanks for getting me on board, and it's good to see both of you again.
Yeah, it's been a while.
But
The
do you call
first,
yourself the dog? Just direct, do you call yourself the dog?
Only in secret, mate. Only
Yeah,
behind closed doors.
I know you would be calling yourself that for sure.
Bradley, this is a very professional podcast. Now,
Sorry.
James, mate, obviously very great week to get you on. Your golf course is at the centre of Australasian golf in combination with the Japanese tour, mate. So we're going to be picking your brain on what's been going on over your side of the ditch. Firstly, first Kiwi winner since 2017 in Dan Hillier winning your National Open. Um, I guess himself and Foxy are fighting for the best product out of New Zealand golf at the moment. Like, what does that mean to New Zealand golf to have a local and a guy, I guess, who's sort of really hitting his straps on the DP World Tour?
Oh, it's huge. Dan's just a nice guy as well, and it's great that he got married and then he won in the same week, basically. But at the moment, New Zealand golf's in a pretty good spot. You think also outside of Foxy and Dan, we've also got Kazuma and a few young guys, young Cooper Moore coming through as well. But it was a great week for the New Zealand Open. Dan looked like he was in control most of that final round, and to come away off it, I know there was a lot of happy people, and there was a lot of drinking perhaps last night in Queenstown from the trophy, from what I saw on a few mates' stories, and could be a few guys here who are pretty happy about it as well. It was really cool to see.
Unreal. Like, Millbrook just turned it on again. Obviously, the inclement weather the first couple of days. The crowds, like the great thing about that tournament, if you didn't know, for the average punter out there listening, it's a free event. So if you're over there in Queenstown, you can just go and watch some world class golf. The two best players in the field, Brad and I were texting yesterday, the two best players in the field going head to head down the stretch, albeit Herbie a group in front. Um, we saw the Australian Open, Betsy, this year hit the heights it did with Rory coming out, obviously the Masters spot on the line. Um, do you think the New Zealand Open can get to that level of quality coming out in the near future? Obviously, the Masters spot being dangled helps the Aussie Open and people wanting to come out.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
McIlroy coming out doesn't need a Masters spot, obviously. But, where do you see it getting to, mate, being right in the thick of it over there in New Zealand?
Oh, I would love it to keep growing for sure. I mean, I think they're probably going more down the line of the Pebble Beach Pro Am sort of
Yeah.
route, which would be awesome. I mean, you see the guys like Kelly Slater and that who have come
Yeah.
over each year to play, and it's just really cool to put New Zealand on the map like that. And what better product than to showcase Queenstown? Like what a place to be and what a place to play golf. There's some exciting developments down there with new golf courses and that sort of thing. So how that all sort of winds in will be really exciting to see in the future.
Yeah, it's unreal. And this little stretch, obviously, the PGA being Parapara Umu, and then off to Millbrook, and now over Royal Auckland and the Grange, like this third event that's co-sanctioned with the Japanese tour. What does this mean to New Zealand golf? Obviously, we've only ever had those two events the last couple of years. It's been great. Like COVID sort of smashed everything, and everyone's trying to build back up. But your course getting hold of this event, big prize pool, huge order of merit implications for the Aussie tour players. Like, can you take us through sort of the back, like what this week looks like for you guys in terms of the operations, and then we'll talk about sort of how it all came about.
Yeah, so massive week for New Zealand golf. It's rare to have the 3 weeks of really good golf in this country. I remember back when Aussie had the Masters, the PGA, and the Open the 3 weeks, and it was really cool to have that sort of Grand Slam sort of feel. And having this now on the calendar is just massive for the whole area. First time in nearly 20 years there's been a major golf tournament in Auckland, so we're hoping all the Auckland faithful get out and about and support their sport like all the Melburnians do. And we're not going to get Rory-sized crowds, but we'll certainly hopefully get a few people here on the Sunday. The club itself was looking at hosting something at some point anyway. It's a pretty new golf course. We want to test ourselves. We wanted to get something here. And this opportunity came knocking. Nick Dastey sort of got in touch and said, would we be interested? And we jumped at the opportunity, which was pretty cool. So, yeah.
It's it's a great event, obviously co-sanctioned with the Japanese tour, last week being with the Asian tour. In terms of the quality of player, like, how does that look into sort of setting the course up? Like, being director of golf, I'm sure you've got your fingers in a lot of pies this week, but like what sort of things do you guys have to do to elevate your course to that tournament level? As you said, it's the first time the newish course has had an event of this size. What do you guys have to do differently to get up and going for this week?
Not a lot, to be honest. We're very lucky here that when they redeveloped the whole course, it was reopened in 2017. That the turf quality itself is pretty awesome all year round. What we have done is we host a Fox Invitational Pro-Am every year, so we've hosted that for 3 years. Last year was the first time we had an under par winner. Foxy plays every year. We get Hillier playing. Vokey won it last year with 5 under, but before that, no one has shot under par around our course off the back tees. So we believe we've got a really challenging layout. Depending how the Aussie Tour set it up, hopefully they can get in the area a little bit and set up a bit tougher than maybe what they want to. But it can become quite brutal, especially if the wind starts to blow. The greens are immaculate here. We've got sub-air systems under every green, and so they're consistent. They roll pure. I really think we're going to have quite a test this week. The weather's looking a little bit calmer than what it did at Paraparaumu a couple of weeks ago. But hopefully we can still test these guys. We've got some good Japanese players and the cream of the crop from the Aussie Tour as well. So it's really exciting. Yeah.
It's unreal, Bradley. Like, you've been over there for the New Zealand Open. You've caddied there, and you've been at the Aussie Open. You've caddied in them. Like, what's your take on, I guess, over the ditch golf and where it can get to? Because I'm dying to get over there next year to have a look at this.
Well, I mean, I think I'm going to say this and people probably aren't going to believe me, but the New Zealand Open is my favourite golf tournament, I reckon, like that I've ever been to. And I've been to the Open, I've been to the Oz Open, I've been to Live Adelaide. Like the New Zealand Open is unreal. Like at Millbrook, Queenstown, best place ever. Courses are cool. The access you get to the players, like it's such a good week. So for, I guess, New Zealand golf to have, 3 weeks in a row of high quality golf, as James said, it's massive and I'm like a big fan of it. Like, I mean, I could quite easily see myself doing something like what Betsy and Dylan Higgins have done and jumping over the ditch and working at one of the golf courses over there because I knew I'd get it in, Betsy, told you. So I mean, I'm just so excited and even just the way that Betsy just spoke about the golf course then, I'm very keen to have a look and I hope the players are tested and it sounds like they're going to be tested in a good way. So you're going to have a high quality golf course that tests the players. You don't want a golf course that's sort of maybe a little bit under the weather and it tests them with lack of quality, but that doesn't sound like it's going to be even remotely close to the case this week. So yeah, I'm actually super excited to tune in. Betsy's definitely got me to probably knock off a couple of hours on my calendar and watch a bit more of the golf over there and hopefully Betsy can get his head on TV a couple of times.
Now, you boys obviously know each other quite well. Betsy, give us your background, I guess, with Gil. And I guess with Aussie Golf, I first met you when you were working up at Cathedral Lodge a couple of years ago. Mate, give us a bit about your background. And then, mate, I want to ask you some questions about the setup this week that I've seen in a really cool flyover you guys have done.
Me and McGill, we did our traineeships together basically. He was a year ahead of me, so I only had to put up with him for a couple of years.
So you got in the year you had to drop back?
Yeah, basically, yeah. No, there's we had a couple of times travelling away, didn't we, Gil? Remember a road trip to New South Wales champs, and
that was a good one. Yep,
that was a good one in the van with John Burbergs.
Oh, you were in that car?
Yes. Yeah. No, not that time. Not that time.
No, we had a van. We had a van, didn't we?
We had a 10-seater bus. We drove to Sydney and played and back. It was good.
Well,
it was good. We were trainee captains together as well.
We were.
So you can sort of see you've got Betsy. We had 3 trainee captains. One was Betsy, who's gone over to do what he's doing over there, the director of golf at a high-level golf course. You've got Kat Odgers, who's now Kat Sargood, who's the director of golf at Peninsula Kingswood. And then you've got me, who is still the teaching pro at Berwick-on-Tuna. We've gone in slightly different paths since the traineeship finished. But no, we definitely had some good times together. Nothing that I can remember that was too untoward that I can bring onto the podcast against Betsy. So I'm pretty confident he'll do the same for me.
Yeah. I tended to play every round of these events, whereas McGill normally had a couple of days off.
Oh. I think I did. I can't really argue because I'm pretty sure I did miss the cut in that trip we're talking about. Yes, so no, I can't. I think I caddied for the winner in the end, so that turned out to be all right. Probably made more money than you that week, Betsy.
Probably Droopy, was it?
Yeah, it was.
Droopy won everything.
No, but, he did. But Betsy, you're up at Cathedral. Like, you spent a lot of time over here in Aussie golf, and you've found your way back home over to Auckland, running this amazing golf course. Like, I'm going to implore everyone who's listening to this to actually go over to the Royal Auckland Grange Golf Club website. It's actually one of the best put together golf websites or course websites I've been on too. But what's really confusing, mate, is for me is the course layout. You've got 27 holes. Can you give us a bit of a background as to the setups? Like, you've got 3 different courses you can play, but can you sort of just run us through how it all works for the members, and if people are going to book a trip over to Royal Auckland, and how they can sort of what they'd be looking at when they come over?
Yeah. Cool. So, we've got 3 layouts. We've got Middlemore, Tamaki, and Grange. So the Middlemore course is set up on the old Royal Auckland property. The Grange course is set up on the old Grange property, and the Tamaki 9 is the only one that crosses the estuary that runs through the middle here. Day to day, our members can have a 3T start. So they'll either play Middlemore and then their back 9 will be Tamaki. They play Tamaki and then their back 9 is Grange, or they play Grange and their back 9 is Middlemore. And so it all sort of rotates around like that. And we have we're able to maximize our tee times through that that system. It seems to work all right. They sort of tee off from 7:30 to 10 past 9. They all rotate through their back 9, and then the afternoon goes from 11:30 to 10 past 1. And we get allows us about 288 tee times for our members. We've got nearly 2,000 members out here. Most of them, about 1,500 of those are playing. So we do need to make sure we've got a open book for them to play. And we run it our goal was to run at less than 75% capacity. So our members can decide on a Friday night if they want to play Saturday, and they have no issues getting a tee time. It may not be an ideal tee time, but they get a tee time. And that's one big thing about this club. It's playable all year round because of the way it was redesigned and the sand capping on the fairways and the sub-air greens, but also it's available to members at a lot of times at short notice as well. And so we believe we give our members a really good experience here. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This week's course, it looks like an amazing layout. The back 9 in particular, there's going to be some carnage or some amazing scores coming down the stretch. It's going to be captivating on Sunday afternoon like it was this week at Millbrook. 3 par 5s through the last 7 holes, and you said before we started recording, and some danger in between. Can you talk us through the layout and some of the signature holes you have set up for this week?
Yeah, so this layout is like a composite. So it's 18 of our best holes basically. Mainly the Middlemore Tamaki holes have made its way into this composite. But yeah, some of our feature holes are what's called Tamaki 7, which will be the 10th hole. It's about a 350-meter par 4. You hit your tee shot over onto the fairway safely, and then you actually hit over the estuary into this beautiful green sort of set into the hill there. And then there's a couple of par 5s. So the par 5s, depending how the Aussie Tour set it up, off of black tees, they can be a little hard to reach. We certainly don't have a short course here. It'll play around 6,700 meters for the week, but it can push 7,000 on our black tee days off our composite course. The 3 par 5s, 2 really good hits that'll take the guys to get home, but none of the greens are really that easy. So if you short side yourself around here, you do well to make par. And then the third hole, the Middlemore third, which it'll be 15. That's a really tight little par 4 with a really undulating green. There'll be a video coming out on that, hopefully on socials next couple of days. And then the 17th, which is our Middlemore 5, is another really tough par 4 with a really narrow shoot. So yeah, the guys are going to need to make birdies on those par 5s, but they're also going to need to strap in for a couple of par 4s coming home as well. Especially 10, 15, and 17 will keep them on edge.
Bradley's very opinionated on finishing holes on golf courses. Bradley, what are your thoughts on 3 par 5s on the way in? Like it's gonna. We saw today with Shane Lowry sort of down the stretch at the Cognizant, just shit the bed, and then we saw on the weekend at the New Zealand Open, it all happened obviously with Dan Hillier and the par 5. Like Herbie nearly rolled in an eagle to square it up with a hole to play. Like it was it just creates a storyline. What are your thoughts, Bradley? Are you happy with that?
Yeah, I love it. I think the key for it is any hole that you can eagle is what I like to see, because then it obviously can lead to 2-3 shot swings. So yeah, three par 5s towards the end is going to be awesome. And as I said, it just means that you sort of as Betsy said, you got to hold on those tough holes, and you got to make your birdies. And it sounds like whoever's leading can't just sort of coast in and play safe and make pars. It sounds like they're going to have to keep, well, depending on the scoring, but yeah, it depends. Like they're going to have to get their wits about them, and yeah, anything can happen, which is exactly what we want. It's better for the tournament, better for the viewer. Maybe not so good for the leader, but stuff them.
They're playing good golf there in the lead. Hey, the pre qualifying spaces are all filled up now, so we'll just run through who got those. Aaron Townsend, Ty Ginganak, who plays on the Aussie Tour from America. Tom Power Horan, TBH, one of the great men. James Mee, Jake Moonhorst, and Mason Lee, a couple of Kiwi lads, have all got their spots this week. Looking through the field, it is one of the strongest fields, I guess, outside the Aussie Open and PGA that we see in our neck of the woods, like Chase Koepka, Kevin Na playing again this week, MJ Maguire, Trav Smythe, Samson Zeng, who's obviously he's won, Kazuki Higa from the Japanese tour, Michael Hendry, he's back playing this week. He's obviously, made a fortune playing over there in Japan for years and years. Course fit, Betsy, like what kind of player, or what sort of strengths do you need to knock it around here at Royal Auckland this week?
They're going to need to be accurate with their irons into the greens, their approaches into the greens. You cannot short side yourself around here. We have a slightly different sand. It's a bit of a heavier sand, so there won't be too much high, soft, spinning back sort of shot. So if you do short side yourself in the wrong bunker, it will be quite hard to get up and down. Hendry won the first pro-am here, and then Vokey won one as well. So there'll be two guys to watch this week for sure. They know the course quite well. Vokey's a member here as well.
Okay, I like that. And the Hendry one, when Hendry won, was that at like 4 or 5 over or something that he won with?
1 over. He won at 1 over.
Close.
Yeah, and then
right.
next year Foxy won with 1 over.
Yeah,
I believe. Yeah.
I love that. I love how hard I guess the Aussie Tour courses or the PGA Tour of Australasia courses are becoming, because that meeting last year, the infamous meeting last year where the players said, make it harder, make the cuts tougher. It's all proving that way. Like talking to Charlie from the Yardage book last week about Parapata Umu, how everyone was thinking everyone's just going to chew it up, and then only two players finished the four rounds under par, one being Cooper, the amateur, and obviously the winner. Like, what's the winning score this week, Betsy? Like, what do you realistically see getting in at this week?
Based on the weather, it's meant to be light winds, unfortunately. If it can blows a little bit, it'd be more fun. I'd say they're probably going to aim around 10 or 12 under, unfortunately.
So that's okay. 10 or 12 is good. It's better than 25.
Yeah, I don't see them ripping it to shreds. It's just, I don't think it's going to happen.
And tournament invites and things, local talent. Is there anyone that, we haven't heard over this side of the ditch? Obviously, Cooper, tore it up at the PGA, but is there anyone else we should be looking at or keeping our finger on the pulse with from New Zealand at the moment?
Well, the two amateur guys, I see Yuki Mia, who was leading the Open for 2 rounds. He's back in this week. So he won the Next Gen event when it was here. So he does know the course, know the layout. But then Ryan G is the other one who is the amateur who's got the invite, and he is a member here, plays for our pennant team. So he also knows the course really well. And he's got a bright future ahead of him as well. So
should have used it for yourself, that invite, Betsy. We would have loved to see you.
Yeah, I agree.
Getting around there. The course record would have been in danger, I reckon. 15 under would be talking about it. Have you got a winner for us? Do you have anyone who you want to see win? Or do you have to be totally unbiased as the director of golf, or the dog, as Brad calls you?
I'd love to see Nick Vokey win, to be honest. Yeah. There's not many nicer guys out there. It'd be a very popular win around here as well. But yeah, like I said to you guys before we started, I don't know many of the Japanese guys, so there could be one of them who slips in and shows their skills that they've learnt over there. So but Nick Vokey would be a very popular winner here.
Well, mate, unbelievable. Thanks for giving us time to run us through your golf course and all the work you've put in, mate. It's awesome for what we're trying to do over this side of the ditch with Aussie golf, and just to elevate the PGA Tour of Australasia, and you guys have come to the party to help that. So, mate, good luck this week. Hope you're not too busy, and hope you get to have a few happy beers with Nick Voke on Sunday night.
Thank you, guys. It's good to see you both.